What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Well, now we know exactly what Plarium had planned with the Path of Light event. We're actually going to have some pretty solid events, guys. Now, personally, I'm not super prepared for it. I'm not going for the fusion or anything like that, but I'm definitely 1000% digging the events. Recently, I had a question. Skratch, do you have any idea when we're gonna have the next 1+1 on Sacred Shards? Well, guess what, guys? It's going to happen this Thursday. Plus, we're gonna have 15x progressive chances for some of the faction Unity champions. And funny enough, I'm actually really hoping to get one of them. I have two of them that are on my most wanted list. So hopefully, I'm gonna get lucky. Now, as I've mentioned, I only have one Sacred Shard. The good thing is that I still haven't purchased this monthly pack. And the best thing ever, I'm in the mercy for the Sacred Shards. I haven't got a legendary from the Sacreds. I feel like probably 15 Sacred Shards without a legendary. So fingers crossed that it will happen. We're going to talk about the champions in a second because we're going to have a 15x progressive chance on Voids and other shards as well. Now, as I've mentioned, I think in yesterday's video, the weekly kickoff, I said we might have a Soulstone event, something. And by the looks of it, we're actually going to have a Soul Chase tournament. Now, unfortunately, they haven't announced the 2x on Soulstones, which really sucks, man. I wish they would do these Soul Chase tournaments together with a 2x because it's pretty dumb not to have it, to be honest. We did not have a 2x on Soulstones in what? Maybe like a month or so now? So, unfortunately, that is not happening. Now, when we are talking about the actual rewards for the Soul Chase tournament, we can get Mythical Tome, XP Barrel, Void Shard, Epic Skill Tome, Gems, and Energy. Now, as usual, most likely we're going to need 3,000, 6,000, 7,000 points to get a Mythical Skill Tome. I can't really remember exactly how they are actually placing this on the milestones, but it will be the highest reward. And God knows I'm in desperate need of mythical books, man. Like, I need to book, to finish to book, of course, my Galatir. The second form is still not done. I still need to do, I think, like 5 or 6 more mythicals, you know? So, considering that I'm not buying the mythical tomes, most likely it's gonna take me a freaking eternity. Either way, nothing else juicy happening at the moment but that. We do have the Soul Pool. We have all this nonsense for the Mikage Fusion, which is absolutely amazing for whoever needs to get the Mikage Fusion done. But for the rest of us, we can take a break, thankfully. Either way, I do want to give you guys a warning. 1+1 on Sacred Shards. And as I've mentioned, we have some pretty solid faction Unity champions. So let me just quickly go over it. This Thursday, April 17th, they are planning to launch 2 events simultaneously. Summon 1 legendary from Sacred Shards, get 1 for free. You guys know the drill. These are the best when you are close to the Mercy or when you're planning to wail out pretty hard. Now, what I like when they do these events, if they put 15x progressive chances on good champions, okay? The chances are still rubbish, but at least you're going to have a chance to actually get a specific champion rather than some random fusion trash that I'm usually getting on my account with the 1+1 events. Then, this event will last for 96 hours, 4 days straight. They're also planning to launch a progressive chance event, giving you at least a 15x chance to summon the champions of your choice from selected pool from Ancient, Primal, Sacred, and Void shards. Now, each one of these events, the 15x progressive chance events, will last for exactly 24 hours. So you can pick today, maybe you want to go for Tuhanarak, which will be on the list. So Tuhanarak will be from Void Shards. I feel like recently they've done a lot of 15x progressive chances for Tuhanarak. She is a good champion for the Hydra clan boss, but mainly if you're planning to manual. On Oro, she is a bit all over the place with this skill. Things can go wrong and stuff, but she is a solid champion, and you can use her in a lot of other content. I feel like she's going to be massive for the Faction Wars hard mode, whenever that's going to get released. She is a pretty solid support. Best build for her, either you're going in with 9-piece protection, either you're going in, of course, with a Relentless, Reflex, depends what you have available. I feel like a Feral set could potentially be an option as well. You do have 3 debuffs coming in from her, but I feel like the first 2 options are honestly better. The first faction unity champion that we're gonna have on Thursday, my bad, is going to be Dune Lord Graazur. Now, he's actually pretty solid for the barbarians. I got him. I think he was the second faction unity champion that I've ever got. Pretty good stats overall. He's a defense-based champion, and he can be extremely annoying. You have the Provoke right here, decreases the duration of all enemy buffs, places a shield, increases the duration of buffs, increase attack, increase accuracy, decreases the cooldown of all ally skills except this champion, fills the turn meter, activates an instant turn on the ally with the highest crit damage if you have a full barbarian team. So basically, you can use him as a turn meter booster. Build him fast, make him use this skill. He's instantly gonna give an instant turn to your damage dealer, which is pretty nice. Then the passive is nasty with the Provoke. Extra damage, ignores resistance when counterattacking. Instant effects and debuff placed by ally skills cannot be resisted or blocked. So overall, he is definitely a solid champion. Moving on to the next one. This Friday, April 18th, once again, they're planning to launch a progressive chance event, giving you the chance of summoning the champions of your dreams. We're gonna start with Graazur, Irongut. I was actually just looking at mine today, and I realized that I haven't completed the masteries on him. I've got all of the scrolls, but I still need to give him the masteries. Now, in terms of builds, if you're using him for the Hydra clan boss, I feel like if you don't have a Hex champion, a Curse set plus a 4-piece Merciless, of course, build for damage, right? Because he does deal pretty good damage with enemy max HP skill. Is definitely a very good way to go because he has AoE skills, right? If not, you can go even with a Relentless, you can go even with a Savage set, or even, of course, with a Slayer set. It really depends what you have available on your account and what's the plan for the champion. Now, I have clanmates of mine using this champion in the Siege mode, and he's absolutely destroying. Really, really good, and that's mainly because of this crazy passive, Vogot on steroids, right? With the unkillable and the heal on all allies. Overall, a pretty solid champion. Then, you guessed it right, we are going faction by faction. We actually have Vizug as the faction unity champion for Friday. I'm not his biggest fan, to be honest. I wouldn't go crazy to summon him unless I managed to collect all of the other faction unity champions that I want to get before him, right? But a lot of people are using him, and he's not bad, don't get me wrong. He's just not one of my most wanted, right? AoE attack instantly activates the poison and HP burn. It's not a 100% chance. AoE attack has a chance to place poison and HP burn. AoE attack, increase accuracy on all allies, increases the duration of all enemy debuffs, and increases the duration of all ally decreases the duration of all ally debuffs by 1 turn. You get increased speed, increases the duration of enemy debuffs, and the duration of ally debuffs by 2 turns. Decrease it, of course, for the allies. Heals all allies. Overall, not bad. A very solid combo with other burners, of course. Moving on to Saturday, guys. Again, a 59x progressive chance to summon the champions of your dreams. We're going to go over to the Undead faction. We're going to have Nekhret from the Void Shards. Very solid champion. Arena, Siege mode, whatever you need. A hard carry to keep a squishy champion alive. Nobody does a better job than Nekhret, okay? With the passives, you have the ally attack, the buffs. Really, really good. Now, for Arena, Narcissus counters him. But if you're not going versus Narcissus, he's going to be amazing, right? And for the Siege mode, for a defense-based team, he's actually one of the most important pieces of the puzzles in that team, you know? Very, very nice champion. Either Stone Skin plus Bolster, Protection. You have quite a few different options. It really depends if you're planning more to use him in offense, to use him more in defense, you know? So based on that, you're going to basically decide on what sort of build you're giving him. I have mine on Stone Skin and Bolster actually at the moment. Then, moving on to the faction unity champion, he is definitely my most wanted from the list. Tribune Heraclitus. So I'll be summoning on Saturday, guys. And finger fingers crossed that I'm gonna get him. I've tried, I think, a couple of times to get him, and I haven't. Very fun champion. Like, I had a blast playing this champion. He's basically dead, and he still damages the team. Really, really good. So with the A1, he has a chance to put fear. If the champion is dead, also heals all allies by 20% of their max HP. With the A2 attacks an enemy, will ignore 100% of the target's defense, which was really good damage. If the target was killed, revives a random dead ally with 50% HP and turn meter. If the target was killed and there are no dead allies, resets the cooldown of this skill. AoE attack destroys the max HP of all enemies, places a shield. The value of the shield is equal to the total amount of all the enemies destroyed max HP. The shield cannot be removed with 2 faction allies. With 3, instantly activates this skill whenever this champion is revived. Really, really good. And with 3, will ignore a portion of each target's defense. The amount of defense ignored is equal to the percentage of each target's destroyed max HP. And you have the passive, which is the fun thing. This champion is immune to block revive. Whenever the champion is revived, increases the damage inflicted by this champion by 20%, stacking up to 200%. And whenever this champion is dead and an ally attacks an enemy, this champion will join the attack. Amazing, amazing stuff. I had such a fun playing this champion, and I really hope that I'm going to get him. Moving on to Sunday, guys. I actually want to get a Void Legendary. So we're moving on to the Dwarves. I want to get a faction unity as well. He's actually pretty damn badass with a Stone Skin buff. But either way, the Void Legendary is going to be Arnorn. Really, really good. I feel like I flopped it by not putting him in my top 15 nukers. To be honest with you guys, he's definitely a massive threat, especially in live arena. If you don't have a way to deactivate his passive or a way to tank his hit, because not only that he will increase his buffs, but prevents the champion's death and keeps them alive on 1 HP when hit by a fatal hit. Places a Stone Skin buff, then instantly activates the Wrath of Hronglaim's skill. This will not place the skill on cooldown. And this is pretty solid. AoE attack will ignore increased defense, strengthen, and shield buffs, okay? And he does deal pretty damn good damage, to be honest. Then he has this skill, which is not necessarily the best. He can deal some decent damage with it. The main thing is the A3 and that passive. He can actually really freaking clap the enemies. Then the faction unity, Blacktusk, Admiral Blacktusk. Very nice because he's very unique in what he does, guys. So that's the passive. So when you have 3 faction allies, at the start of each round, places a Stone Skin buff on all allies for 1 turn, which means that you don't need to build any of your champions in Stone Skin, right? Which gives you crazy power overall, because you can build them on some crazy different sets that will catch the enemy off guard, right? Then he's not necessarily doing like insane damage or anything like that, but he has a pretty solid kit. So a chance to stun, removes all debuffs from all allies, teams up with the allies to attack a single enemy. The allies joining the attack will use the default skill. So you have the ally attack on a 3-turn cooldown, removes all buffs from a target enemy, places a stun, fills this champion's turn meter by 50, fills this champion's turn meter by an additional 10%. The buff removal and stun cannot be resisted, resets the cooldown of this skill when an enemy is killed while under a stun placed by the champion. Allies deal double damage to targets under stun debuffs placed by the champion. So he's really a proper support debuffer champion, right? Overall, definitely really solid. So I'm in between him and Heraclitus. I do want to get an undead one more than him, to be honest, because I had such a blast playing the champion. That's what we have in terms of summoning events for this weekend, together with the hero path for the fusion, guys. So even if you're not planning to go for the fusion, you might as well score some points in the hero path and claim some rewards. You don't need to open a lot of sacred shards, most likely, to get the job done there. I'm definitely not planning to buy sacred shards. Hopefully the clan boss will be a bit more generous with me in the meantime. I feel like my monthly are far off from it. The Doom Tower reset just happened today, so we're not gonna get a sacred shard from here in time. Yeah, I don't think we will. What do we have? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night. Yeah, I feel like we're missing the sacred by one day, at least the very first sacred. So what I'm going to have to do is most likely grind my ass in Tag Team Arena. No, 7 days for this as well. 6 days, 23 hours. I might catch that one at the reset. On the daily reset on Sunday evening. So I might be able to purchase that if I'm grinding Tag Team Arena enough. And I'll be able to get another Sacred Shard from there. Either way, that was everything for this video. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, which one of the faction, unity, or void champions is your most wanted. Are you close on the Mercy with the Sacred Shards? You're planning to go ham either way and try your luck on the 1+1. Much love, and I will catch you all in the next video.